Hello darts nuts, welcome to Darts Review channel. In this video I'm just going to give you a quick preview of some of the new sets that I've got coming out in my Alien Darts brand. Now some of you have probably already seen these. I actually put some pictures up on Facebook of some of the darts and I put them up on Twitter, X as well, but at the time probably nobody batted an eyelid at them because from the angle that I put them up they look like fairly normal darts, but as you will see they're not quite normal. But I'll put the picture up, but I'll show you it was a 180 that I hit with them. Now I actually had these for probably almost a year now. That's how long it's took me to get them up on the site. I actually got the samples about a year ago and then I got these made not long after, but that's why these ones are still in the tins and these, the harvester ones, are in the cardboard packaging, because the cardboard packaging was the newer way I've been doing it. And some people say they prefer the tins, but like I mentioned before when I did the update on the recent batch of the Weaver ones, the tins were great. I like the tins, but it's not possible to get the tin like for the full length of the dart and get full printing on the tin without paying quite a lot more, and I'm just not getting big enough volumes to be able to afford to do that. The other problem with the tins is sometimes they were getting to me and they had little dents and scratches on, which wasn't so good. So that was the reason why I went to the cardboard packaging. I'm still hopefully going to improve that further, but I'm also thinking about whether or not I should do what Red Dragon did a few years ago when they give you like the darts in a little case. Maybe people would prefer that, I don't know, so just let me know what you think. But regarding the darts, I've got the 4 models in the tins, which are the UFO series. So the UFO is an idea that I've had for a long time for a set of darts. Now when I got the sample made, I thought, I don't think I'll be able to get them darts made and sell them because they're just a bit too radical. The grip on them is just a little bit too grippy maybe, and then I thought maybe people will cut the fingers on them when they're pulling the darts out, and I don't want to be getting sued for having people's fingers being chopped off. But that was the samples that I had originally, so I kind of like did another version which was less severe, and when I got the sample of the other version I really liked them, but then I started to play the first samples and I thought, you know what, maybe I should get them made as well because they were just so nice to throw. But then I thought, I don't know, but I had a few spares, so I give them to a few people and they all said, yeah, definitely get them made, because they all thought they were quite amazing. So eventually I did get them made, but again I'm still kind of unsure how well they're going to sell, so this may be the only batch that ever gets made. I really don't know yet, so I guess I'll have to wait and see what the feedback is on them, but when I show you them you'll understand a little bit more. Now the other two are based on the Sentinel darts that I got made from Vox. I've got the Sentinel Evolved Phase 1 and the Sentinel Evolved Phase 2. Now the original idea of my Sentinel darts was to have a dart that I could use as a front gripper but have all the mass fairly short and throw it as if I'm thrown from the rear and kind of get the feeling of what a rear gripper does. Now I managed to get a 180 with the sample set. I've not actually thrown the Phase 2 ones myself yet, not the ones that I've had made to sell. But I've used the sample ones a lot and I really do like them. But again, it's quite an unusual dart, so it's probably not going to appeal to everyone. Now the other ones are the Harvester, which I have already shown people before, and I quite like it throwing them as well. And that has got a mini tri-weave grip, so it's got the same grip that's on the Weavers, but in like a kind of a micro form, mini form. So that's the darts that I'm going to show you. I also have another set of darts which are an old favourite but in a new colour, so I'll show you them as well. And on the site I'm hoping to get some stems and flights put on. At the moment all I've got is the in-between green stems and the Alien standard shape flights, so I'll be selling them in sets of 5, so they'll be going on the site. I'm not sure what the price was. I think it was $3.50 for a set of 5 of them, and it may have been about the same for the stems. And the other thing is I'm wearing the latest version of the shirt. Now there's not a huge amount of difference. if you've got eagle eyes, you will notice that these have got a logo on each arm, whereas the first version I had only had the logo on one arm. And the other difference is the logo on the first version is a little bit smaller than what's on this version. So the shirts should be going on the site fairly soon as well, and I've only got a small batch of them, so price is going to be around about $26.95 or $27.95, possibly the lower one. I think I haven't quite worked it out fully yet. I've got them in small, medium, large, extra large, 2XL, 3XL and 4XL. I didn't get extra small and I didn't get 5XL. I'm really not sure what sizes are going to be popular and what I'm going to sell. So like I said, I only got a small amount of them in each size, so it depends on how well they sell. So I think that is everything. Now I don't know when they're all going to be on the site. Hopefully I'll stagger them a little bit so I don't get overwhelmed with orders. So once I've done a proper review of each, then that'll probably be after that when they go on the site. So just look out for that. So for now, let's have a close look at them. Right, so there's all the sets I've got. The Harvester, 23 gram, and you can see the barrels through the alien's eyes there. So that's the Harvester, 23 gram. The UFO Saucer One, 95% tungsten, 22 gram. UFO Saucer Two, 90%, 23 gram. Sentinel Evolved Phase 1, 90%, 21 gram. Sentinel Evolved Phase 2, 90%, 22 gram. So I'll get them all out of the packs and I'll give you a close look. Alright, so first of all, we've got the UFO Saucer One, 95% tungsten, 22 gram. There, it's got quite a unique grip on it. Now the idea of these came about from the sweets, the Sherbet Sweets flying saucers. I'll put a picture up on the screen, and also I'll put a picture up of the initial idea for the dart, the first drawing. Now I got the samples made, and like I mentioned, I thought, oh, maybe they're too grippy. I mean, it's got like a kind of a knife edge blade grip. I haven't quite decided on the name for it yet. I think I might call it slicer grip. But although it's probably the grippiest dart I've ever held, the fact is, if you're just holding it lightly, it's got that bed of nails effect where, because the grip is quite closely spaced, it doesn't feel as grippy when you're holding it like that. But if you start pressing on it and moving your fingers out, then you do feel it. But what I like about this particular dart is that it just helps me have a really light hold on the dart, and it just helps me to have a relaxed throw. But because of a grip like this, it will cause problems. The darts are not going to slide over each other as easily as they do on, say, the Weaver darts, not with a grip like that. I'll show you with the set that I've been using. It might do in some instances, but obviously these are the set I've been using a lot. This was my original sample set, so what I mean is, like, they're not going to like easily slide over each other. I mean, if it's like a light touch and it at certain angles, it might do it, but chances are it's not. So probably not selling the darts very well by saying that. But to be honest, in spite of that issue, which is an issue with a lot of grippy darts, they just feel so nice to throw. But like I said, I don't know whether people are going to like them or not. I know the guys who I give the samples to really like them. Now originally I did post a 180 of these, but because when you look at it from that angle, I don't think anyone questioned the dart, but obviously they didn't know what it really looked like. So that's the UFO Saucer One. Now the reason why the UFO Saucer Two came about was because of my reservations about whether or not the first one was going to be too grippy. So this one is still a grippy dart, and it's still very nice to throw. But maybe a less severe grip than the Saucer One, and I would still say it's a really nice dart. It just has that positive feel and grip pretty much the full length. We couldn't go right to the end of the barrel with the grip because it was taking too much of the weight off, and that was why on this one it was that kind of design on the ray. So it was just to try and keep the weight as much as possible, and that's why the other ones were 95% tungsten, because the other ones have got so much machined out of them. But you might be thinking, with all that machining out, they might break. Well, I've used mine a lot, and the other guys have used theirs, and I've thrown them at the floor and stuff like that, and they haven't broke. So I think the manufacturer that I'm using is actually a rather good manufacturer. It's amazing how many of the sets that they've made for me that are exactly the right weight. So this is the Sentinel Evolved Phase 1. Now, originally this was a bit of a mistake, because I'd asked for a sample set to be made and I'd sent them the wrong drawing. I sent the drawing for this one, which was my initial idea for the dart, but then I changed it and I forgot to send them the new version. But when I got the sample set, I thought, I think I'll get these made as well, because again, it's just a nice dart. I've really enjoyed throwing these. What I liked about these ones compared to the other one is this section kind of sits in my fingers a little bit nicer, because it's a little bit wider, and with it being smooth as well, it just releases nice and easy there. And you use them edges, you can either use that or that as your grip point, but if you like, you can throw it from there, and there's like a subtle lip kind of a grip. So very subtle on that, so not massively grippy there, but a really nice fun dart to throw. And these were, what were they, 21 gram. So although they're only a smaller weight, I think if you use 22 or 23 gram normally, because this is a short barrel, 37 mil, it kind of feels heavier than what it would if it was a straight barrel. So I'd say it's one of them unique darts that it's not going to work for everyone, obviously, but it's one of them darts that just might surprise you when you get round to trying it. I'll show you the darts that I've been using as my sample set. So that was like a version of them, but slightly different. And these are the ones that I hit the 180 with a rear grip. Now at first I wasn't as keen on these as I was the other ones, but I managed to get more used to them, and for some reason they seem to be amazing on the doubles for me, until I started having problems with my throw. And that particular dart had two versions, I should say one version, but I got two samples. Another sample of the one that I've just showed you, and then another one with a slightly different grip around the ball area. So the reason why I went through a few different grips on the ball part was because originally I wanted it to be like a grip based around a brain, but they said it was a bit too complicated to do that, so we had to modify it. But that isn't the dart that I'll be selling. The Phase 2 is this one. So it's a gold tie, and it's got that kind of like oval staggered notches around the ball, and then these kind of like staggered notches on the rear. I haven't really given it a name yet, but that one's just a little bit more grippy than the Phase 2, and a little bit more grippy again on the ball area. But I haven't actually thrown these ones yet, but we'll see what happens. But it's still the same dimensions and that, so I should imagine it'll be just as nice to throw. But that's the Phase 2. And then the next one is the Harvester, and these were based on the Weaver darts, got the mini tri-weave grip. I think I hit a 180 with these as well, actually. This is another fairly short dart. I think it's 41 mil, and at present it's only in 23 gram, but the grip is the full length of the barrel, and it's got quite a nice feel to that grip. It kind of feels like corded rope. It's not as grippy as the Weavers, but it's still got a nice kind of like subtle grippiness. It's hard to explain, but it is a rather nice feeling dart, that one. And the last one that I said I would give you a surprise look at is a set that I've had done, which is the Weavers, but now in a black colour. So these will be a special edition set, and I guess you could say limited edition really. So once all the black ones of these are gone, that will be it. So there you go, it's an all black, and I actually got some made to take Swiss points as well. I think about 21 sets, but the only thing is I think Target have changed the length of the Swiss points, so the Swiss points that I've got the cone on, there's a tiny little gap at the nose, but the other points fit fine. But I only got 21 sets of them made, and I think 3 people have already reserved a set. So anyone wants this one with a Swiss point option, they'll have to contact me, because I don't think I'll be allowed to put them on the site to sell. So that's all the darts that I've got coming, and I've got a load of ideas for more sets to come soon, so it's just getting around to doing it. Right, so there you go, that's a preview of what I've got coming up on my Alien Darts brand. Now, I do have a little bit of an issue with the site. It's kind of a bit awkward trying to put the postal info in, because I have to do it individually for each item and for each country. There's other sites where you can have like an automatic thing, and I think you can get an app for this particular site, but you have to pay quite a bit extra to sort it all out, and I haven't just got around to it at the moment. So what I'm planning to do eventually is to move it to a better site, which is easier to navigate and easier to do all the postal options. And I think the problem is if I'm posting something like the stems, which are relatively cheap to post, the thing is, if I put like what it costs for an extra item on, if I put like say £1, then that means somebody would be able to get like the darts at a cheaper postage price, and it's a bit awkward on the site to try and work out how to do that, so without affecting the postage and making it so I'm ending paying up more postage than what I should do. So the only thing I can think of doing at the moment is I'll kind of like have a sim kind of postage for everything, and if people order more than one thing and the postage looks like it's a bit ridiculous, don't worry, because what I do is I just work out what the total postage is. It depends on the amount that you send as well, because the insurance changes, and if I can refund you postage, then I'll refund you. I've done that to quite a few people already, where they've had like say extra amount of postage than what it actually costs, and I've refunded them maybe £2-3 or whatever. So that's just one thing, but hopefully when I get to a better site it'll sort all that out properly and I won't have to worry about it. That's the plan anyway. And I think that was it, so I don't think there's anything else I need to tell you. I'll probably have the shirts and the stems and the flights on quite soon, and the darts I'll probably stagger a little bit as I get through the reviews of them. I've got loads of ideas for other darts, but like I said, I've been thinking about whether to try and get some like special cases made and just sell the darts in a like a leather pouch or something, and then maybe just have like a plastic bag which goes over the top, kind of like what Red Dragon did a few years ago. So if you like the idea of that, then let us know, because it's hard to try and know what to do and what people like. Like I said, I like the tins myself, but it's just a bit too costly to get them improved to the way that I want to, because like I said, I'm only getting small batches. So for now, the cardboard packaging is probably what I'm going to stick to, unless I can work out a better way, maybe getting a case or something. I think if I got like a leather case or a PU leather case, it may be a little bit pricier than the cardboard packaging, but it might be a better option for people, because I know people do like to have cases and that. So anyway, just let me know what you think about that side of it. But I'm still learning, I'm still trying to work things out myself. I have not run a business before, so it's all new to me, so just bear with me and I will get there, and things will improve and get better, and hopefully before long I'll get all the other ideas of darts out that I'm hoping to do. So watch this space, as in space, UFOs in space. Yeah, forget it. I'll see you in the next one. Happy darting.